Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. If you overhear the conversation of a child, of a teenager, they may say, I love ice cream, or I love TikTok. How casually they use the word love. They love ice cream and their parents, so ice cream and their parents are on the same plane. For we adults, most of us are adults, we don't say we love ice cream, we don't say we love TikTok, but we do say that we love God, that we love happiness. Do we though? Whatever you love, you have to give your resources and time and effort towards. This is strongly seen in Prince Arjuna. When he tells Sri Krishna that I am your disciple, he doesn't just say it, but he follows through with this. He has asked Sri Krishna, how should I think? How should I sit? How should I speak? How should I walk? To be a disciple of God, a disciple of happiness, one has to be active. An active listener, an active, in Prince Arjuna's case, talker, reminding everyone of the 4 questions he asked. How should I think? How should I speak? How should I sit? How should I walk? And Sri Krishna shares, you should be content. This is your practice. This is how we practice. You should be balanced. You should be independent. You should be fearless, and you should be accepting. These are the 5 pointers or practices for us to be active, to love God, to love happiness. Coming back to verse 58. Eva. Eva means an example. Kurmaha, of a tortoise. What's special about a turtle? Angani samharate sarvashaha. A turtle withdraws its limbs from all. We've all seen this on a video, in our own experience. Yada, if you, I am, here is referring to the person who's a master, but for us, indriyani indriyartebhyaha, if we can be the same way, if we can practice pulling in our sense organs from the sense objects, like a turtle does with its own limbs, tasya prajna pratishtita, then our knowledge has become part of us. The word sthita is not used, but pratishtita those are the same. Solid, foundational, stable, steady. These are all synonyms. The depth of the word sthita, pratishtita, this has become part of us. This has become effortless, natural. This verse and the next few that are coming all relate to our sense organs. We will be able to direct our sense organs only if there is purpose, only if there is understanding. That's why I compared a turtle pulls in its sense organs for protection. We will be able to pull in our sense organs with direction. What Swami Chinmayananda shares, and I'm reading from my commentary, the intellect makes his mind understand the futility of its licking the joy and happiness crumbs in the wayside ditches of sensuousness, while it, in its real nature, is the Lord of the community's food store of bliss infinite. When one's purpose is God and happiness, with that purpose, that understanding, one does not act like a beggar, like a slave towards sense objects. And I had shared with all of you as part of your RAD to create or purchase a turtle, not a real one, and put this where you live. In traditional mandirs or temples, you will always see such a turtle. And the idea is your purpose should now be the entity that lives in this mandir. Your understanding should be that that entity doesn't just live in this mandir, but lives inside of you. To let go of worldliness. We do this in a less traditional way by taking our shoes off when we come home, correct? Keeping your shoes on, that's a sign of being extrovert. When I jog, I put my shoes on. When I fly, I put my shoes on. But when I come home, this is not just a physical home. I should feel natural. We continue, verse 59. These verses again are about our relationship, the sense organs with the sense objects. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Vishaya means sense objects. Vinivartante, they turn away. For whom? Dehinaha, that is the person, the seeker. Niraharasya, who is abstinent. If I am practicing abstinence from sugar, the idea is that sugar turns away from me. That sense object is not engaged in my sense organ, that is the tongue. That's obvious, but here's the philosophy. Firstly, the word vishaya, which means sense object or pleasure, has a very similar sounding tone to visha. Does anyone know what visha means? What does visha mean? Poison. The word visha means poison. And if you think of vishaya, sense objects, like sugar, as an example, isn't sugar considered a white poison? We know this physically, but more so mentally. How addicted we are, going with this example, to eat something sweet after our meals. Were you born like that? See how sugar has become an addiction for us? Back in the day, the word Coca-Cola. You know where the word coca comes from? Cocaine. Initially, Coca-Cola contained cocaine, as in the drug cocaine. And then the companies realized it was too addictive. So now sugar is used. Niraharasya means one who is abstinent. This means they're trying to control their sense organs. We cannot control our minds and our sense organs. They are created to engage in the sense objects. That's why you can't close your ears, you can't close your nose. They're created like that. So all abstinence is suppression. Abstinence is suppression. And that's why Sri Krishna says, rasa varjam, even though the sense object is not being engaged, where is one's mind? Longing for that rasa, longing for that object, longing for that pleasure. We've all experienced this. When we fast, what do we think of? When you're told not to watch this, what do you want to watch? This is all suppression. In our home, and I'm not sure why it's there, but we have this small figurine with those monkeys. I don't know if this is attributed to Gandhiji or not, where you hear no evil, you see no evil, and you speak no evil. If there's no purpose or understanding, how long will I hear no evil? Until I start to feel that's the forbidden fruit, correct? I want to hear evil. Tell a child, don't listen to this song because there's swear words in it. As soon as you're not there, they don't even know what those swear words mean, but they want to listen to it, correct? In comparison, param drishtva, I'm in the fourth quarter. For the one who knows their nature of existence, awareness, joy, I'd also describe them as living in God's world. Rasaha api asyam asya nivartate. For them, even the longing of that sense object, that pleasure, goes away. The idea is, sharing with you again, when the heart is full, the stomach is full. When you are happy, do you need sense objects? When you're happy, it doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have. This is not control. This is direction. This is not suppression. This is sublimation. When one is content, one can direct their sense organs towards any sense object and not be a beggar, not be a slave. In the Ramayana, when Sri Rama begins his journey in the jungle, he meets Rishi Valmiki. And he asks Rishi Valmiki, where should I live? He's with Bhagavati Sita and Sri Lakshmana. And he's asking Rishi Valmiki because Rishi Valmiki does live in the jungle. Sri Rama's never lived in the jungle, so he's asking this question. And Rishi Valmiki shares a most lovely response. He says there's 14 places in the jungle where you should live. Have you all come across this in Ramayana? Okay. You know where those 14 places are? The first 5 are your organs of input. The next four are your organs of direction, which I've often described as your software, your antakarana, which is memory and mind, intellect and ego. And what are the last five? Your organs of output. Where should Sri Rama, who is an icon of joy, be living? In everything that you hear, everything you touch, everything you think about, all of your decisions, when you speak. If all of your 14 organs are engaged in joy, tasya, as in you, prajna pratishtita, you are content and balanced. You are independent and fearless. You are accepting. And now the sixth pointer or practice for us is be disciplined. For a master, their sixth sign is they are disciplined. And so that becomes our practice. From inspiration to application, your application yesterday was to make or buy a turtle and put it near where you live. How many of you tried this? I've had my second vaccine. As of yesterday, I can now come into the States. So I'm coming to your home soon. And if I don't see that tortoise, that turtle, then I will know that you're not engaged in these rats. Here is your application for this morning. As you're going about living, I want you to visualize this checklist of 6 pointers or 6 practices. As you're driving, visualize, am I being disciplined? As you're interacting with your family, visualize, are you being balanced? So keep visualizing this checklist. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.